The latest is that we've been out here since early this morning. The FBI's crime scene investigation team is out helping us out on this scene here, as well as the Bexar County Fire Marshal's office. No new information to report at this point as far as the investigation itself goes. The remains are still at the ME's office, and we're awaiting identification, at least preliminarily, that could come in at any time now. What we're hoping for is sooner rather than later. Well, we'd like to know the same thing as well. As I mentioned last night, we're cautiously optimistic about that being a possibility, but we can't rule out the fact that it may be somebody else altogether. And so we've got to handle this as if it's a completely unknown person to us, and we'll go from there. But we'd hopefully know more by the end of the day. It'd be really nice to hear something more by the end of the day.
Sheriff, you did say you were waiting on dental records yesterday. You were hoping that could be a breakthrough as opposed to DNA testing that could take long. Have you heard back from those dental records or anything like that yet?
My understanding at this point is that the dental records are in the hands of the folks that need them right now, but I don't know how long it takes to interpret those type of results.
Sir, if we can't go down there, can you explain to us what it looks like down where you're investigating?
Yes, sir. It's a wooded area, a lot of cedar trees, oak trees, but they're very close to where the body was found. There is a break in the foliage that could be a walking path, a driving path.
Was there digging down there? Was there any sign that someone had been down there manipulating the groundwork?
At this point, I wouldn't want to go too far into specifics as far as what was found immediately around the body. But what I can tell you is they're going to spend quite a bit of time investigating and searching that scene down there. I'm told that it's going to take the better part of the day before they're wrapped up out here.
Can you talk about the FBI's involvement? Does this indicate that there's any federal situation? Andre McDonald's military.
Right. No, the FBI's involvement is more along the lines of just them helping local authorities. I was under that belief up until a few months ago that the FBI had to have a federal nexus to a federal crime before they could get involved. But in speaking to Special Agent in Charge Chris Combs several months ago, he had told me that no, they can actually get involved. All they need is a request from us. And so we have begun to use them more frequently than we have in times past. So that's their involvement here, is just to help us out.
We see the area there where there's cars around it, and it looks like you're going down a little bit further where the body was discovered. Could you drive an SUV down into that area?
You could get a car down there. I mean, we're able to get our cars down there, big and small. So I can't say that it's the roughest of terrain, but we can get in there.
Were there any other items aside from the body that was found?
I wouldn't want to comment too specifically on what was found inside the crime scene itself, but we are looking at anything and everything. And then even once they're done collecting any trace evidence that's there, we're going to give this another couple of full-scale searches before we're done.
Have you been able to determine further the gender of the individual?
No, at this point we haven't determined gender. The condition of the remains was quite deteriorated due to natural decomposition, of course, and then the fact that they were so charred, we couldn't determine gender at that point.
You did have an update on the overnight home invasion, correct? The shooting as well.
Yeah, I've got updates on a couple of overnight cases that I can give you. One of them came out just after midnight on the southwest part of Bexar County. As I understand it, there was a couple was at home minding their own business in their home when they heard somebody trying to force their way through the door. The woman of the house went to the front door, confronted a 44-year-old suspect there at the door. A struggle ensued. That suspect was able to force his way into the residence and to the bedroom, where the male of the residence, the man of the house, confronted him as well. A physical altercation ensued there between them two. At some point, the homeowner was able to produce a weapon and fired at least one shot at the suspect, striking him. That suspect fled from the home. A short while later, deputies responded to a home nearby in that same area where that 44-year-old suspect claimed to have been shot. I don't have very many details at this point what his story was, but pretty quickly, due to some outstanding police work on the part of those deputies, they were able to identify him as the suspect involved in the earlier home invasion, and so he's facing charges right now.
With all this activity that you had last night, did it make things difficult here to look at this crime?
Well, so it did stretch our manpower out just a bit. I mean, the fact that the FBI was able to take the bulk of this crime scene helps out. So, my hat's off to our federal partners for sure with regard to this case. But additionally, we had another case overnight where this one happened. What part of town? So the Alamo Ranch area. There was a young couple arguing in a front yard when two male suspects approached. The male that had been involved in the argument with the young woman, he's about 17 years of age. He approached the two male suspects, believed to be in their late teens, early 20s, and there was a struggle between the two suspects and that young man, the 17-year-old man. That one of the two suspects produced a weapon and shot the young man. It grazed him in the upper arm. He fled. They fled. At this point, they remain at large. What we are looking for is two males. One of them is believed to be an African-American male, believed to be in his late teens. And so, yeah, taken in conjunction, those three major crime scenes taking part in very quick succession over the span of a few hours did test our resources a bit, but I'm just proud as can be of our folks and the way they've been handling this situation, and they're prepared for the long haul today.
How long do you think you'll be out here?
I think we're going to be out here later into the night, and I wouldn't rule out being out here the next couple of days if we need to.
Sheriff, with this case, when we were in court for the hearing involving the suspect, in this case, Andre McDonald, they showed pictures of his car and the damage that was done to his car.
Yes, sir.
Is that something that you're looking at, like how this crime scene could have damaged a car, or how does that work with the investigation?
Well, we're certainly looking at everything, Mike. We're looking at this with the possibility that this may or may not be Andreen McDonald, but if it does come out to be that it is Andreen McDonald, we're certainly looking at how that fits into the great scheme of the other that case in general.
I know you didn't want to talk about evidence, but can you say if this is the site where these remains were burned, or were they put here?
From what it appears at this point, most of the activity occurred right here. Okay. ¿Mande? ¿Los tres casos? Ok. Esta mañana estamos revisando esta área, la escena de los hechos con la ayuda del FBI. Ellos nos están ayudando con su equipo de CSI. Ellos llegaron esta mañana y nos han estado ayudando durante la mañana, y ellos van a durar aquí la mayoría de este día y hasta la noche si se requiere. Entonces, hasta ahorita